Welcome everyone. Today what we want to talk about is teams, and specifically working with teams, establishing a team culture for your office. So I'm going to walk you through a PowerPoint. We're going to discuss why agents form teams, why agents would want to join a team. Then we're going to get into the resources that RE/MAX has available for teams, and talk a little bit about how you can develop a strong team culture that you can market when you're out recruiting team agents and what have you. So today it's all about working with teams. And so what is a team? Well, it's a group of individuals working towards a common goal. So why do agents develop teams? Well, there's a number of reasons. I'm going to go through 8 of them. The first being that, for one thing, they have more business than maybe they need, and it allows them to increase their income. It's typically your agents that are working on your team are going to be on a split. Now, some teams it's 50-50, some are 40-60, with the 60% going to the team leader. There allows you to leverage their time. So team leaders, they want to spend the bulk of their time doing their dollar productive activities, for instance, sitting in front of clients. They also allows them, having a team, to have more specialties. So you may have a commercial member on your team. You may have someone that specializes in luxury properties or different areas of the city or a different demographic. So you can offer more specialties if you have a team. It offers satisfaction in leading and on coaching. So some other reasons that agents develop teams: develop a saleable business. So if you're able to produce, or a team leader is able to produce something that's productive, it allows them to develop a business. And that's what we're trying to get across to RE/MAX sales associates all the time, that they should be developing a business. And what does that mean? It means having a mission, having a vision, and having values established. So if they can develop a replicable business, then they can have something that they can sell later on. So they can build their own business, and a lot of team leaders have that inner desire to have their own business and have their own culture. And of course, much like you as a broker owner have a culture for your office because you establish the values for your office and the belief systems for your office, they get to do that at the team level. So they will create their own culture, and for a lot of team members or team leaders, this is important. It gives them additional sphere of business, and also allows them to brand themselves as a team, higher profile, higher recognition. So why do agents join teams? Well, there's a lot less financial risk. I mean, if you can join a team, the team leader is providing you with the leads. Therefore, you're not out prospecting, so you're immediately working with clients, so there's a lot less financial risk to you. You're not paying those fees without knowing where the business is coming from. Training and skill development is important, especially important with millennials. Allows them to get the different skills without sort of building everything on their own. So you have someone that you're working with that's doing the training and skill development that you're going to need. You have someone that's going to mentor you, teach you the rules of the road, as it were, the availability, of course, of leads, and quality of life. So for some agents, of course, they're worried about weekends and nights and that kind of thing. Well, it allows them to maybe have more of a standard quality of life, knowing what their hours are, when they're going to be working, when they're not going to be working, that kind of thing. So a number of reasons why agents may want to join teams. So how about you as a broker owner? Why would you be interested in having teams for your office? Well, one is that they're rising in popularity. A lot more offices are having more and more teams. I mean, if you're not going to develop teams in your office, you are losing a huge opportunity. It aids in recruiting and retention. So obviously you're able to, by having teams, you're able to add to your recruiting by the simple reason that the team leader is going to be out there looking for team members. And so they are going to help you with your recruiting. And so by having, teams, you're going to, and being team friendly, you are going to be able to not only have those team leaders go out and find team members, but if you have a team friendly office and a team culture, then they are going to stay with you, as opposed to looking outside of your office for that team friendly culture and environment. It also, for brokers, helps with agent development. So instead of you doing all the training or your manager doing all the training for the office, the team leader is also developing that talent within your office, and it provides ancillary income. And it does this in two ways. One is that the team members are going to be providing fees to you as an office, but it also can help if you've got a mortgaging or different aspects of your business. They're going to contribute to that. So, if you have a mortgage broker, they're going to, more agents drive more income towards those ancillary profit centers. So let's talk about creating a team culture, because that's really what you want to do. So to establish a culture, the first thing you want to do is get out and meet with your current team leaders and find out what their expectations are. I mean, that's the critical thing, is knowing what the team leaders are looking for in an office. Now, you could do this by a survey, but the best route is, if you've got team leaders, to sit down with them and talk about the different things that you can offer to improve their environment. You can offer suggestions on how the office creates a better environment for teams and contributes to their growth. So what you want to have is obviously an open line of communication. The team, as I mentioned before, will establish their own culture dependent on the values of the team leader. So you must ensure that team leader's values are your values, because they're going to be working in your office or within your sales associates. So you want to make sure that the culture that they establish is also something that you can support. And you want to ensure that policies and procedures are adaptable for teams. Now, obviously, policies and procedures are rules of the road, so you want to make sure that whatever your values are, which basically what you do is your policies and procedures are their reflection of your values, and you want to make sure that those values are adaptable for teams. Other things you can do is speak with brokers who have already developed a positive team culture. This is one of the things you can do. You can talk to your member services rep. We're here to give you connections with other brokers who have established a team culture within their office, and that's why you attend different things like retreats, so that you can talk to brokers and get their input and ideas on establishing a positive team culture. You can learn from team leaders' expectations for broker involvement and interaction with team members. This is really the critical element. What would happen if a team member falls into difficulties? Who are they going to call? Are they going to call the team leader, or are they going to talk to you as the broker? Is the team leader broker qualified or not? So this, what are the expectations? You need to establish those with your team leaders and the team members as to what happens when they run into problems or into critical episodes. Who are they going to call for questions and get answers? And ensure that your staff is trained on team structure and the importance to the organization. So your staff needs to be on site as to how team members are to be handled. I mean, if you start treating team leaders as first-class citizens and their team as second-class citizens, that's not going to be the culture that you want. You want to make sure your staff realizes the importance of the team to your organization and the fact that you're trying to build a team-friendly culture in your brokerage. Also, ensure team leaders are aware, obviously, of not only your policies and procedures, but our RE/MAX team policies and trademark guidelines. If you go to the trademark manual, you'll find different guidelines on how to advertise teams on signage and what have you. So you want to make sure you are aware of those. Make sure that your team members are independent contractors. Or what happens if a team leader has an administrator or secretary position that is eligible for benefits? Are they set up for that? I mean, we've had team members that have sued because they want maternity leave benefits, and the team leader has set them up as a independent contractor. So they're going to have employees. So what are they? Are they ready for that? Are they established as far as deductions for employees and different policies and procedures when it comes to employees vis-a-vis independent contractors? Do they know the difference between an independent contractor and an employee and what have you? So you want to be cognizant of that. The other thing is to ensure teams know the rules regarding recruiting within your office or movement from team to team. So, team leader's walking down the hallway and he runs into one of your independent sales associates, and they get chatting, and that independent sales associate decides to join the team. Well, what are the rules regarding that? Or what are the rules, if a team member decides to go on their own within your office? So a lot of teams have contracts that they sign with their team members. So you don't want to be necessarily a party to that contract. What you want to be able to do is be aware of them. What rules have they established? What have they signed as far as their agreement with the team leader? Because you're going to have team leaders recruiting, and sometimes they're going to be asked about, joining team members, your actual employees or sales associates joining a team, and you're also going to have it coming the other way. So what are the rules? You need to know those up front. So what services and support are you going to be providing teams? Like I said before, you need to speak with team leaders, not only your team leaders, but team leaders in other markets. When you go to the different events like Activate, talk to team leaders to ascertain what services and support they are receiving from their brokers. And beware of how current technology systems and tools are working at the team level. There are certain programs that are available that really only work at a team level. Some of these are CRMs, others are just different lead generation websites. If a team leader is looking at something like that, well, they're really designed for teams, because individual sales associates can't handle the amount of leads generated, that kind of thing. So be aware of what technology systems they are using and what tools are available, so that they can be coming to you as the broker owner. You should be acting as a consultant to them. Ensure both team leaders and members are receiving proper recognition and awards, and of course we can provide you with the different awards that are available for both team leaders and team members. Training is a huge value when it comes to teams, providing team leaders on how to build and organize effective teams. So we have the Momentum program. And the Momentum program comes with, Master Team Builder. So if you're looking to establish, have a team, well, you can, Master Team Builder on the Momentum program. So, lots of information here, job descriptions for team members, how to interview for team members, what you should be looking for as far as personality types when it comes to team members and that kind of thing. So you want to take advantage of that when it comes to, take a look at the Momentum for building and retaining a proficient team. Establish a team mastermind group that meets quarterly. So this is something that you may want to act as the consultant on and attend a master group of team leaders, or they can maybe meet themselves. But they're team leaders. They're used to having coaching and consulting, so provide them with a vehicle to do exactly that, because they're really interested in high-level marketing ideas and technology ideas, and will be looking for maybe people from outside to come in and talk to that with them. So determine the team leader's goals, just like your sales associates. As we teach in the Momentum program, you are there as a consultant and also to hold them accountable. So you need to know what their goals are and become their mentor to help them in their business planning. And then developing a training program for team members. Well, who's going to be doing the training for the team members? That's a good question. Is it the team leader or is it going to be you? Certainly we have, again, the Momentum program for teaching or training team members. There's also other vehicles available, so make sure that the training, you may be wanting to cost share it with team leaders and that kind of thing. And you maybe want to identify some potential team leaders and assist them in developing teams. So compensation. This can be a real tricky thing when it comes to teams. So, you might want to take a look at the team compensation plans that are being used either by other RE/MAX offices across the country or team plans that are available within your market. The disputes, there certainly get disputes over team members as teams grow. I mean, the team leader naturally sees the amount of money they're paying, what it's costing them, and they're going to start looking for ways to sort of decrease their expenses. And what you're looking for here is good communication and a desire to find a win-win. So, for example, some teams have licensed but non-selling members. So what's the compensation? Should they be paying for non-selling members? Well, you could say, well, that's easy. No, if they're non-selling, they don't pay. But what's the policy then? If non-selling members, are they coming to your Christmas party? Are they eating your donuts and drinking your coffee? Are they wearing your wear and tear on your carpets? I mean, what should the compensation be for non-selling members that you're supporting in your office space? And their space requirements are going to be different. I mean, what's the value of your space? Do you know how much your cost per square foot is? So that if a team needs to go from 100 square feet to 200, 300, who knows? Are you able to put a value on that? Some team members take on the recruiting and training responsibilities, while others will rely on you. Sometimes a broker likes this. I mean, a team member comes to you and says, I'm looking for a team member. Then when you're recruiting, you have an opportunity, depending on who you're talking to say, well, no, if you're looking for a team, I've got a team that's looking for an agent. That kind of thing. Or other teams will want to do the recruiting themselves. So you just need to know what the system is and what the compensation is if you are doing recruiting for the team, are you being compensated for that? And especially if you're doing the training, you definitely need to be compensated for the support you're going to provide. So last thing about recruiting, you need to be able to answer your value proposition as to why a team's going to join my office. I mean, do you have an environment that is going to be attractive to a team leader? Are you offering that environment? What value are you offering for teams? And once you've established your team program, you want to develop it into a marketing program. So if you have established a team culture, and this is how I handle things, and you can talk intelligently about it when you're talking to team leaders, that's very attractive. You also want to get, much like, the individual sales associates are marketing their business, you want to get testimonials, you want to follow team leaders at competitors' office on Facebook and that kind of thing, and make sure that the community at large, the real estate community, is aware that you have a team-friendly office, that you're looking for people that are looking for a team-friendly culture, that kind of thing. So what does RE/MAX have as far as resources for teams? Certainly team offices. We have a number of teams that have grown too big for a broker's office, and so they've established their own team offices, and I'm going to show you a form for doing that. The RE/MAX University has a number of different videos and programs as far as teams and how to handle teams. I know that Kingsley did his carpool karaoke with Tony Joe the other day, talking about how Tony runs his team. So there's all kinds of information available on that kind of thing. The team RE/MAX University also now has a team learning track, which I'm going to show you briefly. The Momentum, the Master Team Builder, which I showed you before. The trademarks we discussed, and also the awards. So here's a team office approval form that you would get a team member to fill out. Again, this is something that you need to determine ahead of time whether or not you are going to allow your team members to establish offices outside of your premises. I mean, obviously, if you've got square footage, you want it full. You don't want teams have all kinds of team members out in offices and a bunch of empty office space. If you're spending $30 a foot on your office space and you have 100 square foot sitting empty, that's $3,000 a year. You're losing. So you want to make sure before you offer team offices that you actually are full. So if you do have team members that want to establish team offices, the other decision you're going to have to make is you want signage or not. No signage. There is a cost for these offices. Again, talk to your member service reps and we can walk you through it. In BC, because of the different agency rules and regulations, we brought in the team broker franchise. Again, this is something that only a couple of brokers have taken advantage of, and team leaders have taken advantage of. It's a very specialized aspect of the business. We have some frequently asked questions and whatnot to guide you through the process. When you have a team broker franchise, then of course you become the anchor brokerage and they get their licensing through your office. So it gets a bit technical. So again, if you think that this is a vehicle that your team leader is interested in, it's only offered in BC because of the agency aspect of it. But contact your member services rep and we can help walk you through it. So again, here's team status guidelines. These are available for you to go through. Here is the team learning track that's available on RE/MAX University, and it starts off by talking about is having a team the right course for you. So if you have a team leader, this is someone who wants to develop a team, this is a good course for them to take. I believe it's $50 Canadian to take the course. A lot of terrific information. There's videos available and different services, programs that are incorporated into this, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Have you got what it takes to develop a team? Why you should be creating a team or why not? Leadership styles, when to form a team, and then it gets into economic models. Setting up a goal. How much money can you make with this team? And setting up your economic goals. Building your team, defining, what are the ambitions of you as a team leader and your team members, different systems, and you get into, just like we discussed with the operational model for your office, the same for the team, establishing your mission, vision, values, beliefs, expectations, and developing human resources, the hiring process. And again, the Master Team Builder has interviews, what to ask, questions to ask, and when you're interviewing, personality tests, compensation information, performance standards, and then business planning. So here's just a couple of slides on the learning tracks, the different things that a team will start filling in, like enter in your desired profit. What's the split going to be? What's your average sale price? What is your transaction benchmark that you're going to establish? That kind of thing. And then you would fill out the forms that are available for you. Establish, accountability. So how many transactions do you need based on the earnings that you require, and where is that going to come from? And of course, the Master Team Builder walks you through that. And we have a Canadian version of the Master Team Builder for you, so make sure you ask your member services rep for that. So that's it in a nutshell, working with teams. I hope that you enjoyed today's presentation. There's a lot of information to cover, and I find that the best thing that brokers can do is just attend events and talk to team leaders, and also talk to brokers that have got a good culture in their office for teams, and just share ideas and establish your own mastermind group when it comes to brokerages with teams, because they can certainly help you grow. I mean, instead of recruiting one agent at a time, you can recruit 3 or 4 at a time. And also allow your agents to develop teams and have that resource available to them. And we're finding that a lot of millennials are certainly looking to teams for a way to get into the real estate business and establish themselves and learn all the different things that they need to know before maybe taking the next step and going on their own. And you also want to make sure that whatever you're doing as far as policies and procedures, that you're allowing team members to eventually maybe join your office as a full-fledged individual sales associates. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, like I say, we're here to help you through them. Bye for now.